This is a true story. I hope you can read it patiently. It will surely inspire you. One day, two guests arrived at Charlie's restaurant. They were a man and a woman, both around 40 years old, dressed elegantly. The man was carrying a suitcase, and they looked like a couple traveling together. The waiter smiled and handed them the menu. The man took the menu and passed it to the woman, saying, "You order whatever you want." The woman didn't even glance at the menu and looked up at the waiter, saying, "Just bring us a bowl of dumplings and soup." The waiter was stunned. Who comes to Charlie's restaurant for dumplings? Besides, the restaurant didn't even sell dumplings. She thought she misheard and looked at the woman in confusion. The woman repeated her request. The man then spoke up. "Why dumplings? We're not poor." The woman shook her head. "I just want dumplings." The man was embarrassed, seeing the waiter's surprised look, and said, "All right, just bring us 2 bowls of dumplings." The woman quickly added, "Just 1 bowl." The man was again taken aback. "How can we share 1 bowl?" The woman looked at the man, frowning. "Didn't you promise to listen to me all the way?" The man fell silent, crossing his arms as he leaned back in his chair. The waiter showed a disdainful smile, thinking this woman was stingy to the extreme. She came to a high-end restaurant for dumplings and only ordered 1 bowl for the 2 of them. The waiter sneered at the woman. "Sorry, we don't serve dumplings here. If you want dumplings, you should go elsewhere." The woman was surprised, thinking for a moment. "How can you not have dumplings? Are you refusing our business because it's too small?" At this moment, the restaurant owner happened to pass by and heard the woman's words. He called the waiter over and asked about the situation. The waiter complained, "Look, these 2 only ordered dumplings. They're obviously causing trouble." The restaurant owner smiled slightly and waved his hand, finding it strange too. Looking at the couple's attire, they didn't seem like people who couldn't afford a meal. Perhaps there was more to the story. In any case, business was business. He quietly instructed the waiter to buy a bowl of dumplings from outside and charge them double when billing. After a while, the waiter brought a steaming bowl of dumplings. Seeing the dumplings, the woman's eyes lit up. She leaned over the bowl, taking a deep breath, seemingly reluctant to eat. She didn't touch the spoon for a long time. The man, looking around, felt everyone's eyes on them and felt extremely embarrassed. "I don't understand you. We came all this way just for a bowl of dumplings?" The woman replied, "I like it." The man grabbed the menu. "You eat your dumplings. I've been hungry all day. I need a proper meal." He called the waiter and ordered 7 or 8 expensive dishes. The woman calmly waited until the man finished ordering and then told the waiter, "You'd better check if he has money. Don't let him dine and dash." The man turned red with anger. "Nonsense! Do you think I dine and dash? I have money." He started searching his pockets but couldn't find his wallet or phone. He stood up, patting himself down, but realized his phone was also missing. He looked at the woman, who said calmly, "Stop looking. I threw your wallet and phone into the river last night." The man was furious. "Are you crazy?" The woman continued stirring the dumplings slowly, as if she didn't hear him. The man suddenly remembered something and opened his suitcase, rummaging through it. The woman said coldly, "Don't bother. I threw your watch and my ring into the river too. Everything valuable we brought, I threw away. I have $5 left, just enough for these dumplings." The man's face turned pale, and he sat down, glaring at the woman. "You're crazy. How will we get back without money?" The woman remained calm. "Why are you worried? We still have our legs. We can walk home. 20 years ago, we had no money and still made it home. It was colder then too." The man stared at her. "What are you talking about?" The woman asked, "Do you really not remember?" The man shook his head in confusion. The woman sighed. "It seems you've forgotten everything after making some money. 20 years ago, we were swindled out of everything on a business trip. We had no money to go home. When we passed by here, you got me a bowl of dumplings. I knew you only had 5 cents left." The man trembled, looking around. "This place?" The woman nodded. "Yes, here. I'll never forget it. Back then, it was just a small, shabby dumpling shop." The man lowered his head. The woman turned to the stunned waiter. "Could you bring me an empty bowl?" She took the dumplings, split more than half into the empty bowl, and pushed it towards the man. "Eat. After we finish, we'll walk home together." The man stared at the half bowl of dumplings. "I'm not hungry. Tears welled up in the woman's eyes. 20 years ago, you said the same thing. She gazed at the bowl without touching the spoon, sitting silently. The man asked, "Why aren't you eating?" The woman choked up. 20 years ago, you asked me the same thing. I said, if you eat, I'll eat. If you don't, neither will I. And it's still my answer now. The couple shared the bowl of dumplings with tears in their eyes. The man asked softly, "Are you full?" The woman shook her head. The man suddenly remembered something, took off a shoe, pulled out the insole, and found a $5 bill. He stared at it in disbelief. The woman smiled. 20 years ago, you lied, saying you only had 5 cents left to buy one bowl of dumplings. But you had another 5 cents hidden in your shoe. You saved it for when I got really hungry. You knew I wouldn't be full, so you took out the money to buy another bowl of dumplings. At least you remembered what you did back then. This $5 wasn't hidden in vain. The man was speechless, trembling as he picked up the spoon, struggling to get a dumpling into his mouth. When he finally managed, he started crying. The woman, seeing him eat, smiled and began eating too. Tears mixed with the dumplings in her bowl. The man handed money to the waiter, another bowl of dumplings. The waiter didn't take the money, but quickly brought another bowl of dumplings. The man poured more than half into the woman's bowl. Eat. After we finish, we'll walk home together. Don't blame me. I just wanted to share one last walk and hunger with you before we part. The man, without a word, ate the dumplings quickly and cleanly. He put down his bowl, urging the woman to eat. After we finish, we'll walk home. The woman said, "Don't worry. I keep my word. I'll sign the divorce papers when we get back. I won't take any of your money. You can marry anyone you want." The man shouted, "I'll burn the divorce papers when we get home. Isn't that enough?" He started crying. I was wrong, okay? I was stupid, all right? The woman smiled, calmly finished her dumplings, and said to the waiter, "Miss, the bill, please." The restaurant owner, who had been watching, suddenly snapped out of it and quickly approached, blocking the woman's hand and taking out $200 bills. "Since you've decided to burn the divorce papers, why walk home?" The couple hesitated, looking at the owner. He smiled. "We're old acquaintances. 20 years ago, you ate my dumplings. My wife made them." He forced the money into the man's hand and walked away without looking back. The restaurant owner returned to his office, took out a divorce agreement from his drawer, stared at it for a while, and muttered, "Looks like I was stupid too." When parting ways, think of the person who has shared both joy and sorrow with you. Over the years, your story isn't short. As time passes, those touching moments are sealed away bit by bit. The person who truly cares for you isn't the one who sweet talks you, but the one who hides $5 in their shoe. The one who, in the hardest times, saves the last bit of food for you, saying they're not hungry. If this story touched you, please share it.